Hey, everybody, and welcome back to For the Booze.
For the booze.
For the Booze.
School let out today.
Yeah, last day of school for our kiddos.
Summer vacation, which marks the start of time to move.
Crunch time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We are back, Booze Crew. Another week ahead of us. We've got an interesting one this week. I think it's one that maybe some people will know about, but I think a lot will not. But first, before we get into anything, the Creepy Crate has arrived.
It has.
We've actually had it for like a week.
It was literally the day after we recorded. I was like, no.
Yep, it's been here. And when we stayed true, we didn't open it.
We did not open it.
We waited to open it on the show.
Steven made me pass him the pen across from him and to open it while we sat down to record. So,
look, I said on the show that I wanted to open it on the show.
I know, but I stared at it so much just sitting on the table.
You were like crazy excited to open this thing. So I'll tell you what, we're going to open it up and we're going to see what's in this thing. So why don't you go ahead and reach in there and tell me what you get.
Okay.
Go for it. She's going towards it. She's opening the box. I can hear, I'm sure you can hear her sliding as well. Ooh, I can already see some good stuff here. Don't read that. Don't read that. Don't you read that. Don't you read the cheat sheet. Ooh, that's a big book.
It is a big book.
What book is it?
It is called Graveyard of Lost Children.
What?
A novel by Katrina Monroe.
That's actually pretty sick.
Wow. It's the back of it has a description of the book, but at the very top it says, once she has her grip on you, she'll never let you go.
Oh, man, that sounds right up your alley, actually.
I know.
You haven't read a physical book in a while.
I know. I've had a physical book that somebody bought me, and it's just been chilling for like 2 years.
I see a sticker in here. That is going on the guitar case.
Yay.
My turn. What is this?
Oh, that looks
it's
cool.
just like a tote bag.
Like a reusable
Yes.
grocery bag.
Yes.
Sweet with...
Oh, it's Captain Spaulding.
Oh, sweet.
This is a sick bag. It's a red bag. It says Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen. Ride my famous murder ride. This is sick.
Oh, that's super cool.
I really like this.
I like that.
I can't wait to bring home our meat products in this. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, man.
All right, what else is in there? Go. We're trying to get the good stuff out. I see it's definitely a cup.
Well, it's got like shaved paper in it, but it's like black construction paper. It's really cool packaging.
I don't think it's even construction paper. I don't know what this is.
Sorry, this can be loud. It's bubble wrap.
This is like, maybe it is construction paper. Oh, it's very cool packing though. I love this.
It's really neat.
Actually.
Oh, this is glass.
It is a cup.
A glass cup. I thought it was going to be a plastic cup. So it's a cup with a bunch of symbols on top. I don't know what they are.
Let me see.
But it says "swing away."
Well, they're like alien glyphs.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
that is really cool. It's like a glass drinking cup. We can add that to the collection from the winery glasses that we got.
If only we drank wine.
No, but they're like glass.
If only I drank anything but bottled water.
That is true.
So
That's a really nice cup.
we got this cool sticker. This is the girl from. This is The Ring. Pretty sure that's what that is.
Yep.
It's going on the guitar case. Definitely, it's cool, like holographic sticker. And I'll pull out one more, and there's two more, and then there's a patch that says "Together Forever," and it's like I'm pretty sure it's like a zombie hand digging into a human hand.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
I like that. And then I know there's 2 or 3. Oh, there's like extra little bits in here too. There's a double thing in here, I guess, because there's 2 of us. They're so nice over there. I like them.
Super cool.
There's like a
little like rubber bracelet. It says Umbrella Corporation.
Dude,
yeah,
from Resident Evil.
Yep.
Okay, all right, I'm in.
And then there's like a little
like a
metal charm with what looks like purge faces on it.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
I kind of saw them in there. That is what that is. They're the purge faces.
Yeah,
I didn't
there's
even
2 of them.
I didn't even realize that's what they were.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
And it comes with this paper inside, and it says the year 2020 was featured for many reasons. The crash of the internet, the onslaught of boy bands, and the butterfly hair clips, just to name a few. Simultaneously, the universe gave us some of the scariest films of all time. Y2K trends have made a comeback, even if some should have stayed in the past. Trends will come and go, but a film that haunts our nightmares never goes out of style. And it's a list of, I think, 8 movies.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense for the stuff that came in this box. That is...
Whoa.
The cup is, I'm pretty sure the movie Signs.
Okay.
We got The Ring. This one, I'm not sure what this one is, the Together Forever, but I do love this patch.
Okay, hold on.
Captain Spaulding is definitely House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So
I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work.
Yeah, it kind of goes through with each individual thing that you get, and it gives a description of kind of what movie it goes with.
Dude, this is
super cool.
A lot more stuff than I was expecting.
So cool. I'm definitely going to read that book, by the way.
I know you will.
I know you won't.
No, I might read it.
Oh, man, this is super neat. Oh, my gosh.
You're letting everybody know that I can't read, and that's not fair.
You can read. You just don't like to physically sit down and read a book.
It's a lot for my brain. I'm more of an Audible guy. I love some Audible books.
I know you do.
Audible. We're not sponsored by him, but you should have an Audible account. I'm just saying. It's awesome. So, guys, this is Creepy Crate. I'm glad we waited. This stuff is
cool.
really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, if you like how this sounds, you can go over to Creepy Crate and get on their bi-monthly subscription service. And because you're a listener of this show, you get a discount for your first order. And that code is
Booze5. That's BOOS and the number 5.
That's right. And that'll get you $5 off your first order just for listening to For the Booze.
That's right. And even on this little paper that I was reading off of, it's even got like QR codes. So maybe there's like a little extra stuff online.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
I know.
So the mysteries just keep on coming.
Creepy Crate.
Yeah. Love it.
That's super cool. Oh my gosh. That was worth the wait. Okay.
Maybe when we move and we get to where we're going, we'll have to jump on the full-time subscription.
Absolutely.
Okay, but we have to move on. This was a lot of fun, though. This was a little different. We never
really
get to
cool.
do this stuff.
I know.
Now, we have to finish a story that was sent in by Mr. Keon Washington.
That's right.
And I've been calling this the saga of the dragging chains.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's get in to part 3. I heard the chains coming down the hallway, but this time I was ready. When it sounded like it was halfway down, I jumped out of my room with the bat in my hand. And I forgot to mention, we always kept the hallway light on. I never saw a shadow or anything. I came out the room ready to start swinging. Soon, as I rounded the corner, the sound stopped. There was nothing there. I was confused because I know I was hearing chains coming down the hallway. I did, however, see what looked like could have been a small silhouette of a cat at the end of the hallway. It was just sitting there, and finally it got up and went on into the living room. My grandma had heard me and woke up asking what was wrong. I said there's some animal in the hallway. She was like, "What?" She got up and we went into the living room and saw some small furry animal jump behind the china cabinet. My mom got up as well, wondering what was going on. We told her there was a small animal behind the china cabinet. I moved it, and we saw a small family of possums hiding under the cabinet. My mom said, "I thought there was a big rat leaving droppings all over the house, but it was this damn possum." Then my grandma started telling me about the time when my granddaddy, who died before I was born, had a chain laying in some hay on the ground, and he was attacked by a possum when he went to get the chain off the ground. Needless to say, The scratching was being caused by the possum at night, but I can't explain why I was hearing what sounded like someone dragging a chain down the hallway. I haven't heard anything like that since. I like watching paranormal shows and ghost hunts and participated in a few, but I'm sort of a skeptic myself. Do not dismiss what others may believe because I'm no expert in it. I know my house isn't haunted, but that is just an experience that I cannot explain. Oh, and the opossum family was relocated to my uncle's house where he thought they would make interesting pets in his barn.
Wow.
And that's the story of the dragging chain. So I guess the scratching sounds had an origin point, but
Right.
the chains just went on forever without being answered. But
Wow.
what a link to have between the chains and his grandfather.
Right. Absolutely. And I still question the bat. Like the metal bat.
Yeah, the bat's not going to
ghost
be. I don't
thing.
think the bat's going to do anything.
I don't know. It's okay. You were a teenager. It's all right.
He wasn't even. Well, yeah, he was. He was young.
It's like
he was
14.
13, I think.
13 or 14, I think. Yeah.
I still don't think it'd make a difference.
But still, nevertheless, creepy.
Definitely creepy.
Do not ever want to hear that in my house.
But maybe we're looking at it wrong. Maybe his grandfather was there to protect him, and that's why he was
From the
here.
possums?
Yes, from the possums.
Oh.
So maybe you got somebody looking over you, Keon. I appreciate you sending in the stories, and maybe we'll hear some more from you in the future. That would be nice.
Yes. Thank you so very much.
We
that
love
was
those.
a great little trilogy you sent us.
Yes, the
love
saga of the dragging chains. But we have to move on to the topic of this week's show. And this week we're going to a small town that I've never even heard of. It's called Mitchell, Indiana.
Mitchell,
Indiana.
Okay.
I mean, this is kind of like small town Indiana as far as I can tell. It doesn't seem very big at all.
Mm-hmm.
There is a place in Mitchell, Indiana that is not just known as the most haunted place in Indiana, but it's labeled the fourth most haunted place in America. And I don't think a lot of people have even heard of it. And this week, we are traveling to the infamous
Whispers Estates.
That's right, Whispers Estate. Now, it has, you know what, I don't want to give too much away. So, without further ado, I just think we'll jump right into this one this week.
All right, let's do it.
Here we go. The city of Mitchell, Indiana, was built as a railroad town in the mid-19th century. This location in Lawrence County, the Chicago, Indianapolis, and Louisville Railroad, better known by the shorter name of the, quote, the Monin, was built as a north-south line from New Albany to Chicago, passing through the area which became Mitchell in 1853. In 1857, the East-West Ohio and Mississippi Railway, later part of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, was completed as part of a link between Cincinnati and St. Louis. At the intersection of the two rail lines, a new town was planned. As the O&M Railroad was surveyed, the owners of the land arranged for one of the surveyors, Ormsby McKnight Mitchell, a West Point graduate and professor at the University of Cincinnati, to plat their new town in exchange for naming it after him. A native of Kentucky, Ormsby Mitchell grew up in Lebanon, Ohio, and was also an attorney and notable astronomer. He later became a major general in the Union Army during the American Civil War, and is best known for ordering the raid that became famous at the Great Locomotive Chase. He was also known as, quote, Old Stars. General Mitchell died of yellow fever while serving in Beaufort, South Carolina. Now, the town was incorporated in 1864, becoming a city later in 1907. Mitchell hosted a number of manufacturers in 1919, including the wagon, truck, and bus body enterprises of Ralph H. Carpenter, which became known as the Carpenter Body Company. School bus body production would continue until 1995. In 1851, The Mitchell area was the birthplace of outlaw and train robber Sam Bass, who lived from 1851 until 1878. He was orphaned at the age of 13, but was apparently engaged in lawful activities until 1877, when he became an icon of the, quote, wildness of the American Old West as he robbed banks, stagecoaches, and railroad trains before he was fatally wounded by Texas Rangers the following year. Now, despite Bass's short-lived criminal career, he is remembered as part of a robbery of gold on September 18, 1877, which remains the largest robbery in Union Pacific Railroad's history. Mitchell was also the birthplace of astronaut Virgil Gus Grissom, who lived from 1926 until his death in 1967. A mechanical engineering graduate of Purdue University, he joined the United States Air Force and was selected as a member of NASA's Project Mercury space program. Gus Grissom was the second American to fly in space on Liberty Bell 7 and also flew aboard Gemini 3. He died in a launch pad fire at Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, during a training exercise for Apollo 1 on January 27, 1967. Spring Mill State Park is located just east of Mitchell. It includes a memorial to Grissom, as well as several caves in Pioneer Village. The buildings in the village are original structures from the former mill town that was located there, recreations of buildings in the town, and other pioneer-era buildings that were moved to the park. The Monon became part of the Louisville and Nashville Railroad. Both it and the former B&O are now part of CSX Transportation's rail network. In modern times, Mitchell is also served by the Union Pacific system. In the late 20th century, Mitchell's downtown area was defined as a historic district that was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The town developed an urban enterprise zone and industrial park, and at the end of the century, was working to attract new businesses and industry while also capitalizing on its heritage through antique shops and tourism. Residing in Mitchell, Indiana, in Lawrence County, is the famously known haunted Whisper Estate. Still standing tall today as a bed and breakfast, the Whispers Estate was originally built in 1894, 13 years before Mitchell became a city, and it is reportedly the site of ghostly encounters of all kinds. The extravagant manor was purchased by Dr. John and Jesse Gibbons in 1899. Now, Dr. John Gibbons was a well-known, highly accredited doctor in town, but his home was full of tragedy. Dr. Gibbons saw patients in his home office on the first floor of the estate. The Gibbons were also known for adopting orphan children and accepting them into their home as their own. Unfortunately, the Gibbons' 10-year-old daughter, Rachel, started a fire in the parlor shortly after moving in and was severely burned and passed away 2 days later in an upstairs bedroom. Now, the story goes that the night before Christmas, Rachel would sneak downstairs to catch a glimpse of gifts underneath the Christmas tree. Being that the tree was so close to the fireplace, one of the presents would catch fire. Rachel would accidentally come too close to it, and her clothes would catch on fire. Although Rachel's death was tragic, the unfortunate family deaths didn't stop there. The Gibbons' 10-month-old infant daughter, Elizabeth, died an unusual death in the master bedroom. The cause of her death remains unknown to this day. Jesse Gibbons suffered terribly from double pneumonia shortly after, leaving her to die in the same bedroom as her daughter Elizabeth. Helen, the only daughter to have any record of officially being adopted by the Gibbons, would try to have Dr. John admitted to an insane asylum. It was said that the doctor was a bit of a pervert and would inappropriately touch some of his female patients, and he was also known to perform gruesome abortions in the house. Dr. John would end up dying on the first floor of the master bedroom of pneumonia in 1944, With nobody left, he would leave the house to Helen, who, wanting nothing to do with the house at all, would go on to sell it almost immediately. Now, some guests that sleep in Jesse's master bedroom report waking up in the middle of the night with labored breathing and coughing. The most common paranormal activity that has been reported in the master bedroom is the closet doorknob will frequently jiggle, suddenly stop, and the door will just pop open. This has been reported to occur 5 times within a couple of minutes and required the guests to close the door after each time it happened. These are only some of the reported haunted activities from one guest spending an evening at Whispers Estate. Now, guests that are brave enough to sleep in the 3rd floor bedroom report waking up from horrible nightmares and can sometimes hear someone attempting to open their bedroom door in the middle of the night. Guests claim to see beds and couches visibly shaking. It has also been reported numerous times that a, quote, shadow lurks throughout the house, but can most commonly be found in Dr. John Gibbons' office. The Gibbons family story is very interesting. However, it's not unique. Many other families who've lived in Whispers Estate over the years have experienced similar trauma and death. A gentleman who lived in the estate in the 50s died in the upstairs bedroom. 2 more deaths would occur in the house as well, a father and his son. A young special needs boy by the name of Gary was said to have fallen down the stairs to his death. Some believe that his shunt may have actually malfunctioned, resulting in his death. Now, the family would move from the home, but the father, Virgil, returned to gather some items they had left behind in a closet. Unfortunately, while doing so, the man would suffer from a fatal heart attack and die in the same house that his son did. Whispers Estate was recently renovated in 2006, and during its restoration, strange activity was reported. Whispers Estate earned its name due to guests repeatedly reporting hearing disembodied voices whispering in their ears during their stay. Now, the estate is considered by many to be one of the most haunted places in Indiana, and possibly even America. It's a Victorian-designed home that is a total of 3,700 square feet, located in a city called Mitchell. The paranormal experiences documented by the employees, guests, and locals have been covered on numerous media platforms. Travel Channel's Most Terrifying Places in America, Volume 5, and Most Terrifying Places in America, Top 13. The Sci-Fi Channel show called Children of the Grave highlighted the home, as well as a radio show called Ghostly Talk. The DVD called Ghost Stories 2 Unmasking the Dead also highlighted the home, not to mention the many YouTube channels that have covered the estate. Now, there are supposedly 4 graves in the backyard, not including what psychics have called a pit grave, which they say contain amputated limbs, internal organs, aborted fetuses, and more. There is reportedly a portal or a vortex which runs up through the house from the front parlor into the 3rd floor room attic, which many believe to be the heart of the house. Whispers Estate is a 4-bedroom house located in Mitchell, Indiana on Warren Street. And if you ever wanted to own a haunted house, Whispers Estate home is currently for sale for just $130,000. Now, the price includes furniture and, many claim, ghosts. And who knows? But if someone does buy it, we are sure they will have many stories to tell.
That's it. That's all it costs to buy that.
Well, because nobody wants it. I mean, this place is, it's more well known in the paranormal community, I think, than it is in the regular world, I guess.
Right.
I mean, it's so haunted that as I was reading it, you jumped out of your skin like something touched the back of your neck and freaked me out.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not maybe. You literally grabbed the spot on your neck and then turned around looking behind you.
I felt like It was like the base of my neck and the top of my shoulder, like where they meet, got all like tingly feeling.
It's my voice.
And then there was like pressure. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I never pressure you. Never once.
Oh, okay. But anyways, back to Whispers Estates. Not
I thought that's what we were talking
just
about.
touched my neck.
Talking about. It's a very creepy haunted place. There, doesn't have a long history.
Right.
It's very cut and dry. There are a lot of claims here, but even those stories you will find more personal experiences on the internet in form of like a video or on a TV show before you'll find something written, by someone.
Well, that was quite an impressive list that this place has landed on.
There's more. There is more.
Yeah.
I can't write it all. For me, there is more stuff that happens here, but I know you're going to elaborate a little bit more on some of the other stuff. And it's just a very interesting place. It's very different. There are claims that Dr. John was a pervert.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really find much more about it. So I don't know how much weight those claims hold, to be honest.
Right.
Because this is over 100 years ago.
But if they hold any at all whatsoever, Dr. John.
Gross.
Ew.
Yeah, gross.
Ew.
Gross, dude. I mean, I guess, at least it wasn't his kids.
I don't know.
Just
but
saying.
Speaking of his kids, we have another caught on fire thing.
But see, unlike Franklin Castle, nobody was really pointing their finger at the Gibbonses for their kid. They were just accidents.
I get that. I've said it before, and I feel like so many of these places have a story of mainly women, because let's face it, the amount of material that they wore back then is insanely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But so many people catch on fire.
You gotta remember, General Electric
places.
wasn't putting out, fire alarms in your house back then.
Yeah,
so.
it's just
Fire safety, I don't think was up there. It was probably up there, but people didn't build things and make clothing and stuff with the idea of fire on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like there's a bit more safety precautions put into everyday life now than there was back then.
Yeah.
And fires were a thing because you got to think too, it's the early 1900s and people were using a lot more fire for light.
Yeah.
And warmth.
Oh, yeah.
Versus, central heat and air and a light bulb.
Yeah.
And once you do that, your chances of, accidents happening go way up. People don't catch on fire in front of their lamp, but they do in front of a fireplace.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a little coinky-dink to put a little tally on the list. That's all.
Yeah, look, if you want to tally them up as the years go by and we do the show, you go for it. But I think it's just something we're always going to run into is that it's going to be a lot of fires. It's going to be a lot of people falling downstairs and a lot of people getting sick and dying of mysterious illnesses that they just didn't know what they were back then. And they were probably things that would be very common now that we could just go down and they were like, yeah,
here's an antibiotic.
take some amoxicillin, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So it's just a different day and age, a different life, it's a different time. That's all it is. But Whispers Estate is what really sticks out to me the most about this place is I think we watched Paranormal Quest to go here on YouTube. And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't come across anything on it, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the house that has that really weird room up in the attic where I think that's the heart of the house room. Oh. And it's like, it's either all mirrored or all tinfoiled off or something like that. And they use that room specifically to contact spirits and and do stuff like that in that room.
I've been trying to place this place in my head and like what have I seen or watched? Because it sounds familiar.
Yeah,
it sounds
we watched
familiar.
Paranormal Quest go here, and it was a weird house.
Okay,
it is a weird house.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think from here we should get to your part.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn, but I think first we're gonna have to try to make a little bit of change off of this, and we're gonna have to take another break.
Oh.
Sorry.
And now, Booze Crew, back to the show. Ghost hunters are a reoccurring theme, showing up again and again for Lawrence County's most haunted place. Many of the visitors reported strange smells, apparition sightings, voices, footsteps, slamming doors, and even physical contact from spirits. In 1899 or 1901, depending on which source you reference, Dr. John and Jessie Gibbons purchased the house from the original owners, Dr. George and Sarah White. Dr. John and Jessie Gibbons reportedly adopted, abandoned, and orphaned children. One of these children, a 10-year-old girl named Rachel, started a fire in the front parlor, and being badly burned, she would die 2 days later in one of the upstairs bedrooms. But many visitors claim that you can still hear and sometimes even see her running around the house today. The master bedroom sometimes strongly smells like baby powder, even though there are no babies around. Sometimes the sounds of a baby crying can be heard as well. People who have stayed in the master bedroom feel as if they are suffocating or as if the wind is being sucked from their lungs. Disembodied footsteps have been heard as well. Small, light-footed steps are the most common to be heard. Most agree that they probably belong to Rachel, but there is another ghost child at the house as well. A little boy who fell down the stairs and died. His spirit has been picked up by EVPs on several occasions. They also believe that when you hear heavy footsteps, it's time to be careful. This sound, they claim, is almost always associated with growls, pushing, scratching, and even biting. A large shadow, called Big Black, has been seen in the doctor's room. Dr. Gibbons had a general practice at the house on the first floor for about 26 years. Patients have died in the house on multiple occasions. But the psychics claim that Big Black isn't of this world. This black mass also moves around all over the house. It hasn't been violent so far, but it's terrifying as you could imagine. According to some psychics, there are at least 4 graves in the backyard, as well as what they call a pit grave, where amputated limbs, human organs, and aborted fetuses were claimed to have been dumped long ago. They also claim the doctor himself haunts the premises as well. He is known for whispering in young women's ears, and he likes to grab and touch people in very inappropriate ways. Then there is the claim that inside the house there is a portal which runs from the front parlor up to the 3rd floor. Many believe this to be what they call the heart of the house. Many who have spent the night in this room claim to have terrible nightmares, and also that something would try to enter the room. Another ghost the psychics have picked up on is that of a gentleman in his 50s or 60s. They claim he died in the house in the upstairs bedroom, most likely of natural causes. Guests report feeling earthquake-like tremors in the doctor's bathroom. Some beds tend to shake violently when guests sleep in them. Strange smells like cologne, aftershave, cigars, meat, cabbage, and dirty medical bandages have been noted by visitors as well. The estate has even been featured in many books and TV shows, and was even rated by the Travel Channel as the 4th most terrifying place in all of America. It is a beautiful Victorian home from the late 1800s. 3,700 square feet filled with paranormal activity, according to guests, past residents, numerous media venues, and its owner, Van Rayner. Rayner purchased the home because it was completely different than anything he has ever experienced in the field of technology and computers. Quote,
I started hearing noises. I had my mom on the phone until I got my ass out of there. There was no way I was going to stay in here by myself.
He laughed with a sense of excitement and trepidation in his voice. The home was named Whispers Estate because of the disembodied voices people report hearing as they walk through its eerie halls. Many guests and those in the paranormal community explained that electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, has revealed many entities in the house at any given time. Many young women have reported hearing Dr. John Gibbons' whispers in their ears, and they say he sometimes grabs and even gropes them. Quote,
When you hear footsteps, you pray that they're a child's footsteps. They're the little pitter-patter of feet, maybe about 70 to 80 pounds. However, I'm getting tingles just thinking about this. There's another set of footsteps that happens in the house. It's more like loud stomping. It is very heavy and menacing,
Rayner said. Many agree there are things that bite, growl, and even push at Whispers Estate. But for ghost hunters and the curious, the lighter steps in the home are almost welcomed. Rachel Gibbons, the adopted daughter of the doctor and his wife, is one of the children believed to throw jacks in the home and roll balls in the empty rooms or down the hall. Many visitors have formed an affection for the spirit of the little girl who tragically died in the home. Quote,
Rachel was in this room on around Christmas Day in 1912, sneaking a peek at Christmas gifts in the main story. She got too close to an open flame. A fire ensued, and she died 2 days later in the upstairs bedroom,
Rayner explained. Burn marks from that awful day still remain on a pocket door between the parlor and the dining room, and many believe the child's spirit lingers as well. A group of women visiting the home made a special effort to reach out to Rachel. They brought her a present, a doll, which they left in the second floor bedroom where she died. They made themselves at home and began to try to communicate with the little lost soul. They called out to the 10-year-old, according to paranormal investigator David Heatherly, who explained that the women then heard something bounce down the stairs. On the landing at the bottom of the stairs, they saw the doll that they had brought for Rachel. Quote,
It was burnt looking, and it smelled freshly burnt.
To this day, people reserve time to come and experience this bizarre, creepy place for themselves, and the photos they end up with are nothing short of startling, to say the least. Guests are encouraged to write down everything they experience on lined paper, where the accounts are posted to Whispers Estate's official Facebook page. And as to be expected, some of them are very creepy. It's not uncommon at all for guests and even the owners to be scratched up by unseen fingernails or touched by an unseen hand. The estate earned the quote Whispers moniker after numerous guests experienced somebody whispering in their ear, somebody they couldn't see. Looking around the internet, there is no shortage of videos about paranormal investigators going to the estate. So, as we like to do, we checked to see what real-life, everyday people who have visited the estate have to say about it. Deluxe D on TripAdvisor.com writes, quote,
We have been 5 times. Very active. Several members of our group refused to ever go back. Very haunted. Well worth the money.
Greg on TripAdvisor.com writes, quote,
Went with my friend Mike and his uncle Glenn, who was writing an article for a website. We thought it was great with everyone lighting candles and performing seances on the first floor. It was getting kind of late, after midnight at least, and someone mentioned the most haunted part of Whisper's estate was upstairs, so Mike and I had to go check it out. There were a couple of rooms, one with a bed and a couch nearby. A guide said that this was the most haunted part of the estate. Awesome. I sat on the bed and Mike was on the couch, and we tried to see if something suspicious would happen. We talked and joked about the happenings of folks downstairs with their magic stuff. The next thing we knew was Uncle Glenn waking us up around 4 a.m. Such a fun and amusing night at Whispers. Didn't see any ghosts though, not even Casper the Friendly Ghost. Still fun though.
Zach on TripAdvisor.com writes, quote,
The place is the real deal, 100%. I went with a group of 9 people. All were family, except one of my friends. We got there about 8 in the afternoon, and we were supposed to stay until 4 in the morning. We experienced so much stuff, it was mind-blowing. We witnessed the ball come flying off the bed in Rachel's room about 4 times. Saw a little bouncy ball going down the hallway on its own. Our whole group watched the closet door open in Gary's room. About 10-15 minutes later, we were all sitting in Gary's room and heard whistling coming from down the hallway past the bathroom by the double doors. It was whistling like a song. It continued to get louder and louder. We decided we were leaving after that happened. My buddy forgot his phone upstairs, so he went up there to get it, and he and my grandpa, when they were up there, they heard screaming. My buddy was hurrying and trying to get out of there, so he grabbed his phone, and we all left.
And one more from TripAdvisor.com from Gem City Paranormal Group writes, quote,
This house is intense initially. Had so many bad vibes through the tour. Had us a little worried. But once we were fully into our investigation, it lightened. At least a little activity in every room. The doctor's office and bedroom were the most active for us.
With all the claims that have been made about the estate, it's easy to see why this place is at the top of a lot of people's paranormal to-do list. Everything from apparitions, EVPs, demonic interactions, smells, and even babies crying in the middle of the night have all been reported here. And if that's not enough to terrify you, then the shadowy figure that wanders the halls should be. If you ever find yourself in Mitchell, Indiana, and are brave enough, book an overnight here at Whispers Estate and see for yourself if the stories are true. But be careful what you look for, because sometimes you just may find it.
Spooky.
Ooh.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know, right? That's what I thought of when I read that too.
It's, when you read the part about the smells, I could smell that weird stew of cologne and cigar smell and meat and cabbage
seeped into
and
the
then
walls.
Old
almost.
bandages, old dirty bandages. Yummy. Let me get a bowl of that. I'm hungry.
No thanks. Sounds so gross.
So, I mean, even like regular people who have been there to check it out, like lots of people have experiences here. You know, this is one of those places where there's plenty of information over and over about the place online, but there's just not a lot of personal stories unless you really look for them.
Right.
They're out there, and people who go there speak highly of it and seem to have a lot of activity when they go. So
yeah.
Now, I'm pretty excited because I haven't been able to find EVPs, for a while, and I have found some videos on this place, so
Yay.
I can't wait to listen to these.
Yay.
Now, the first one I'm going to play, it says Whispers Estate, Jesse's Door.
Ooh.
And this is from YouTube. It is from a channel called Haunted STL. This is from about 3 years ago.
Okay, so it's not that old.
No. So let's read this description. D&M Paranormal, along with Jen from Haunted STL, visited Whispers Estate March 20th, 2020. While the team was conducting an EVP session 1 bedroom over, the door in Jesse's room opened. The team noticed the door was opened upon leaving the other room and proceeded to try to debunk the movement. At this time, neither group has an explanation for the movement. So, let's listen to this one.
And the door's open.
The door is open.
The door is open.
The door is wide open.
So the camera would have caught that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you caught something.
The one that you didn't want to set up
Correct.
because
No, I'm just saying. I mean, that's good. It's freaking awesome.
maybe that's what we were hearing.
That is.
The squeaky, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the squeaky.
Well, hey, there you go. We go down and review it.
No.
Okay.
That
What time is it? It is 12:39 that we discovered that door open.
right. So I mean, that is not. I mean, you had to pull almost the doorknob is coming off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good. That will ensure that I will probably most likely review this DVR footage.
So,
Wow.
the door mysteriously pops open. They try to debunk it.
That was crazy. He was like wrenching on that door,
Yeah,
too.
he was getting it. They were doing it pretty good, and they were not able to, they couldn't figure out what it was.
So I wonder if that goes along with that closet door type thing. Like if it's the same
Well, this is
maybe entity.
this is, I don't know. Now that you're saying it, now I'm not sure. I was going to be like, no. But you know what? It might be. So there's that one. There is, we're going to play this one. I'm not sure if this is an EVP or not, but this is Whispers. It just says Whispers Estate is the title. This is from Journey, Indiana. I think this might just be kind of like an overview,
Okay.
which is fine because maybe we'll get some extra information that we didn't get. I like that. This says, voted as one of the most terrifying places in America, Whispers Estate, located in Mitchell, Indiana, has gained a reputation for its haunting residents. Learn more on how you can tour Whispers Estate by visiting their website, whispersestate.com. So I think this can be like a cool little overview. I do want to play this just in case there's some stuff in there that we couldn't find.
Yeah.
So let's give it to Whispers Estate.
From the outside, the old Victorian situated on the quiet streets of Mitchell, Indiana, looks like any other turn-of-the-century Hoosier home. Patterned drapes cover stained glass windows, glimpses of wooden poster beds and crystal chandeliers beckon of a time long past. But according to many paranormal investigators, it's a history that is still very much alive.
In 1899, it is suggested that Dr. John Gibbons and his wife Jessie moved into Whispers Estate. We do believe that Dr. John did practice surgery here in Whispers Estate. We do believe that the bathroom actually in Dr. John's room was the operating room. We did discover a drain in the middle of the floor. There are 2 huge windows in there for natural lighting, and also the flooring back there, it is black and white with gold flake, and back in the day, the doctor's office floors were black and white with gold flake. However, it is suggested that he specialized in being a pediatrician. Of course, back then they didn't have specialties, but I think that that was a great interest of his.
That love of children led Dr. Gibbons and his wife, Jessie, to adopt 3 orphan children. Unfortunately, a happy home would not result. In 1912, during a cold winter day, their daughter Rachel got too close to an open flame. A fire ensued, and she died 2 days later in an upstairs bedroom. Shortly after, another daughter, an infant named Elizabeth, passed away. The deaths took a grave emotional toll on Mrs. Gibbons. Just 2 weeks after the death of Elizabeth, Mrs. Gibbons developed a severe case of pneumonia and passed away in the same room. In total, 6 confirmed deaths have occurred in the home.
It's also reported that there was a little boy that passed away in the house, as well as a gentleman upstairs in the servants' quarters. But again, we don't know the exact number of Dr. John being a doctor, how many patients expired here. So we think that that has a contributing factor to why the house is haunted, if you will. The reason why the house is called Whispers Estates is because oftentimes people will hear whispering, not only on their paranormal equipment through EVPs, but just hearing them in your ear while you're in here. Oftentimes we will hear singing. We will hear conversations going on upstairs as if there might be like a television on and you can't quite hear the station that it's on, but you can hear people talking back and forth. And it has become so frequent that the name Whispers Estate was thought of, and I think it's very fitting.
The haunting reports continue to attract paranormal investigators from across the country, anxious to experience Whisper Estates for themselves.
I think the more people that come here, when they have all these cool things happen and then they return home, I think a little bit of Whispers stays with them. The history of the house, we do believe, is correct, and we are about the truth here. We aren't trying to fabricate anything, and if we don't have the documentation, we always say legend and lore.
And the legends have grown to include frightening reports of scratches, bites, and even growls. Today, Whisper Estates is largely regarded as the most haunted location in Indiana, and has received national attention as the Travel Channel's 4th most terrifying place.
The entities coming into the home here, I think a lot of them welcome you. I think a lot of them are happy. We have these people here interacting, that they can communicate with them. Some of the negative entities here, not so much. It's a roller coaster ride. It is that indeed. You never know what you're going to experience. And when you come here, you always experience something. But I guess I would tell them, be open to what's in here, because the more you're open, the more you're going to get. Don't come in here with a negative attitude, because from what I've experienced, they don't like negative people here. They never.
So one thing that I really liked about that was, if they don't have documentation to back up the stuff, they always refer to it as legend and lore. They don't just take off with a claim no matter what and say this happened.
Like everything is truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, because that's a big deal, because they could grasp on to all the stories and stuff and just be like, yeah, this happened. And they don't do that. And I respect that. I always love when places do stuff like that.
Absolutely. I think it attributes to the fact that they believe in what happens there, and not everything is going to be real, and they don't want to take everything as real either.
Yeah, it's something that I think a lot of people will appreciate, is that it feels like you're getting more truth.
Yeah.
But there are
Fair
now,
enough.
if I wanted to go through YouTube videos and search for stuff, I remember watching some people go here.
Yeah.
And there's stuff out there. Like there is actual like evidence that exists on this place. Just depends on how much you believe the people you're watching. That's the only thing. So we have come to the end of this. We've done the history and mystery behind it all. You know,
that we have.
the thing. And there's one thing left to do, and that is to ask you.
Is it real?
Possibly. But we got to ask her first. So, Megan, what do you think? Do you think Whispers Estate is really haunted?
I was on the fence while we were doing this, as I always am. But I do think this place is haunted. I think there are so many things that people feel, see, and have happen here, whether it be, just regular people or paranormal groups. And I think there's quite a bit of evidence, and adding to the fact that the place, doesn't just grasp on to every little tall tale and call it real. And I don't know. I like this place. I like this place a lot, and I do. I think it is haunted.
Okay.
What about you?
I absolutely don't believe it's not real. I believe it's real. I think...
Oh, like, wait, what?
For me, it's going to be more of like if you're a place who is willing to say, we have this documented so we know it to be a fact, and we will not tell you that it's a fact unless it's a fact.
Right.
Will change my mind almost every single time unless you can prove to me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the fact that you read, not me, you read 3 TripAdvisor reviews out of a ton.
Yeah.
I just picked the top 3.
Wow.
There's a ton. Lots of people have had claims here. Not to mention I don't always want to put all of my faith into like YouTube paranormal, to be like, oh, stuff happens. But
as we should.
So many people go there and have experiences, people that I trust and people that I don't trust. So it's just one of those places. I do think something's going on there. I don't know how much or, how big of a deal it is, but this isn't Waverly Hills or something. This is some small house in Indiana. And I think there's something going on. I do. I think there's something definitely going on there. So that means that this house, this estate, if you will, is going to get
the big old seal of approval.
And that's Whispers Estate.
Yay.
I mean, very cool. I wish I could have found more information on it, honestly. I know.
You mean like the background history part?
I wish I could have found more about the family.
Yeah.
The families that live there. But, sometimes I can only find what I can find. But it was enough for us to decide what we think at least. So, whatever. It's a win.
I liked it.
And
I like this place.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It is, and it's not what you're thinking. Like, just go look at pictures of this place. It looks like it just could be a house you would drive by. Like, it doesn't look super crazy, scary, ominous, weird, or there's nothing that stands out about it, really. I mean, it's a nice house, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't think that place is very haunted. It just doesn't look like that.
Yeah. And if you don't want to do all the work of going on Google and searching images and things.
Yeah, you can always.
We always post stuff on social media.
Yes, we do.
We do. We always post it right there for you, for the booze. Just look us up anywhere.
On Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, there will be pictures.
Always.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, good idea, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't have to Google it. We'll Google it for you.
That's right. We'll do the work for you.
So I guess that is going to take us out this week. And I also think that this may end the haunted houses for a little while.
Oh.
I want to move on a little bit. I think maybe after we get our move over with, maybe we'll come back to it.
Okay.
But I think for now, we're going to let it go, and that'll wrap up the haunted houses, like little series we did.
I enjoyed that.
We did a lot of them.
We did.
But there's not just haunted houses out there, because there's a few hotels and old hospitals and stuff.
I always like the hotels.
Well, then you're probably going to like next week.
Ooh.
So, with that being said, where can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram at forthebooze_podcast and on Facebook at forthebooze.
You can also find us on Twitter at forthebooze and on YouTube if you like to watch a little screen version of this while you listen. There's no video, so don't get excited. It's just exactly what this is on any other format at forthebooze. And reach out to us at forthebooze12@gmail.com if you have a listener suggestion. If you have, a spooky story you'd like to send in, and we will read it on the show like we love to do. Or, hey, just to say hi, we enjoy that also.
We do.
And what else should they do? They should 5 stars, rate and review.
That's right.
Because that is how we will move the show forward. We are getting a little bit more listeners in. And if we could get a few of them to go do that, maybe it could bump us up a little bit. And maybe we could have more awesome people like Creepy Crate reach out to us. And maybe we could do more stuff for the listeners.
Yes, we are so excited. And we want to thank Creepy Crate for reaching out to us and doing a little collab. And just sending us a little bit of what they're about. And
That's right.
We found it amazing.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable to get it and open it.
Super cool.
The box is pretty cool too, actually.
The box is super cool. We're definitely going to have to do a little photo sesh with the
absolutely.
Creepy Crate stuff
Absolutely.
and post that on our social medias. So if you guys want to see it, see what we were, describing to you in all our descriptive words, go ahead and go on social media here in the next few days and we'll post pictures of everything. Even the box itself is super cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a neat little box. It's not just a regular box. So, and because you're a listener, again, you get a discount. $5 off your first order, and the discount code is
BOOZE5. That's BOOS and the number 5.
So I guess this is it.
It is.
This is where we're going to take it out for the week, and I guess we'll be back with another one next week.
We will. So thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye!